Hey everyone, I'm here today with my good friend Kate Northrup of katenorthrup.com. She has an online TV show called Glimpse TV. She is the author of Money, a Love Story, which is going to be out in September of 2013. She created financial freedom at the age of 28, and she's also a rock star entrepreneur. She is now focusing on teaching people how to create financial freedom in their lives. And thank you so much for being with us here, or for being with me here today, Kate. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Yay! So before we get started, I just want you to maybe describe in your own words kind of like where you are right now and what you're doing with your life and how things maybe have shifted for you in the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's great. I would say right now I'm really focused on expanding my platform and making sure that I teach as many women as possible how to have a loving relationship with their money. Because it's funny, I was just emailing with a prospect today who's considering joining my team. I have a whole direct sales business. And so she and I were emailing, and she said, you know, the truth is I really want to coach women and inspire women around being in transition. And she said, do you think that this business will sidetrack me? And I said, to be perfectly honest, and I wrote this really impassioned email because the truth is, like, you can read books, you can take seminars, you can do all that stuff, but if you don't have it together financially and you don't have a vehicle and an avenue to create financial well-being, a lot of your life won't work. At least it won't work long term. Like, it's
so true.
While, but like it'll be duct taped together.
Right.
So I said to this woman, you know, I get it that your passion is coaching women and inspiring women, and the best way you can do that and the biggest way you can help them is giving them an avenue to create financial well-being, because from there everything can totally blossom and flourish.
So true. It can flourish and thrive, right?
It can flourish and thrive with a loving relationship with your money. And so often, like, our money is the last thing we think about, because especially if you're an artist or you're a spiritual person, you think like, oh, it's not that important. But it is that important.
It's really important.
It's your lifeblood. Like, we live in a system where money is important. It's important. So stop saying it's not important.
I know. Stop saying it's not important, and stop being a starving jewelry designer, because you should be making money and being responsible with it, right?
Yeah. And when we take like something like jewelry, right? It's beautiful. It's precious metals. It's precious gems. Like, jewelry actually, unlike other things, actually does have inherent value.
It does.
You know, it's the thing on which money was based originally. And so especially jewelry designers should be totally prosperous and reflective of the materials that they're working in.
I agree, and I've done so much work on this, and this is why I even started this whole school in the first place. So we're going to kind of talk about something similar to what you were just talking about, but I know you've done a lot of work creating freedom in your life in all different areas, and you spent a year on the road with your man playing around with the idea of location independence and experiencing what it was like to be really free. So I want to just go a little deeper to find out what that means to you, and what does it have to do with money. And I know it's sort of tied into what you just said, but we can kind of circle it all back.
So I would say the number one reason people would cite for why they don't have what they want in their life is financial.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, if you think about your desires and what you want to go after, perhaps with the exception of like an amazing lifelong love, right?
Yeah.
But like, that really doesn't have to do with money usually. But most other things, like, it comes down to money. So freedom to me is really choice, and freedom is not going to look like living out of your car and driving around the country to most people. And in fact, it doesn't look like that to me anymore either. Yeah. Even though I'm so grateful I had that experience.
So fun to watch you actually through that whole experience.
It's really fun. But so what financial freedom has to do with that is it allows you to have choice. And choice allows you to have to access greater parts of your creativity, right? If you're a jewelry designer, you really need to be opening up full flow so that you can put your unique gifts out into the world. And interestingly enough, I know you're a yoga teacher, so you understand this. Money has to do with the second chakra of the body, and it's the area where our reproductive organs live and the low back. And that area, the second chakra, chakra has to do with money, sex, and power, and also creativity. It's like that creative center. It's where our babies come from. It's also where your creative energy lives. And so if you want to get into right relationship with your money, what's great about that is it will also enhance and support and create a really strong foundation for your creativity, as opposed to what many people think, which is, oh, well, if I pay attention to my money, that's super boring, and like I'm an artist, I'm not a business person.
Right.
But you really can thrive in both.
I totally agree with you. And there was this book, and now I can't remember the name, of course, because I'm on the spot. Someone that I was in a relationship with was reading it because he was having all this low back stuff, and when he really got down to it, a lot of it was related to like his money stuff. Yeah. It was like so funny. Anyway, so all that stuff in the second chakra, I love it that you brought up that, because I'm such a believer in that, and I've read your mom's book too, so I get it. Okay. So,
leave the body out.
What'd you say?
We can't leave the body out.
No, we cannot leave the body out. That's for sure. Okay, so in the Flourish and Thrive community, we talk a lot about running a profitable business and scaling down to create abundance and financial freedom. How did you create financial freedom in your life?
I actually created financial freedom by scaling down. So recently wrote a post. I don't actually when I wrote it, but it's called the Spaciousness of Simplicity. If you Google Kate Northrup, the spaciousness of simplicity, you'll find it.
I'll put a link here below this. Okay.
And it was about how getting super clear on what you value and stripping away anything else in your financial life will create freedom for you, because we can't have freedom if we're all like boxed in by all our expenses and all these expectations and all this stuff we stuff our life full of.
Right.
And instead, if you really want to have freedom, ask yourself what's really important to you, whether it's eating out for meals, like that's a value of mine. Eating out is
me too.
I'm always going to leave it in my spend. Okay.
I'm right there with you. I love it.
Organic food. Like I'm always going to pay more for organic food.
Right.
Honestly, a designer handbag, to me, I just really don't care that much.
Yeah.
But that's me. Your values might be different, right? And so you want to really readjust so that your spending choices align with your true values, because money is just a stand-in for what we value. And so we have to use it that way and respect it as a tool for trading value for value in the world.
I love that. Yeah, it's so true. I've been doing so much work on all of this stuff that you're talking about, and like really identifying what's important, because like for some people, like people say to me all the time, well, stop eating out. Like it's so expensive. I'm like, I'm not going to, because that's like something that's important to me. I'd rather like not have cable and not, like you said, like buy a Chanel bag, and I'll just, carry around my sample sale bag that I bought from like some other designer, that I got for 50% off.
Cole Haan was founded in my hometown, so I go to their factory store and I get really nice Cole Haan bags.
There you go. I know. Who needs Chanel? I'm just kidding.
Exactly. I personally don't, but some people do, and I
some
also
people do.
want to say, give yourself permission to value what you value.
Right.
Because if a Chanel handbag is really important to you, that's awesome.
Yes.
It might, with the whole Danielle Laporte's core desired feelings thing, maybe that Chanel bag is making you feel a certain way that you want to feel, that Tracy and I feel when we eat out.
Right. Exactly. And I must admit that I do love to have like a couple of pairs of really nice, expensive shoes that I wear for special occasions. But other than that, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
You want to make more money because, see, that's the other thing. Like, also get clear. It doesn't have to be about deprivation and less. It can be about more. And if you're like, you know what? I want to eat out, have a Chanel bag, take expensive vacations, and have designer shoes. That's great. If you're willing to do what you need to do to have those things.
Exactly.
Do it. But just be clear on why you want more money. Don't think in your head like, oh, I should want a 6-figure business. Or I should want like a 7-figure launch or whatever. Like, maybe that's not your thing. To me, I'm kind of like, I really love my life in Maine, and it's kind of simple, and I'm pretty much into it.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. We miss you in New York, but,
I miss you guys, too. I'm totally, like, wearing Maine today.
You are wearing Maine, but I love it. It's so you.
This is what I'm wearing out
Okay. Financial freedom is also like a key to happiness. And we kind of touched on this a little bit, but I also want to talk about some other ways that you suggest to create happiness and like really get in touch with what's important in your lives besides taking inventory or whatever. But I'd like to hear that from you because I know you're working on that a lot in your business.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I'm really focused on right now, just for myself, kind of this is like my next threshold of personal growth, is gratitude for what I have and not comparing myself to other people.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's been a great source of happiness, is really honoring my own unique gifts. And like, for example, I'm in the process of redoing my website.
Yeah.
And even though in my head I was like looking at all my friends' websites and going through, and I'm like, oh my God, I should do it like this. I should do it like hers. Oh my God. The truth is, like, I have my own idea of how I want my website to look. And I don't want my site to look like everybody else's. And like, maybe my idea is better for me. And so
it is.
I think that so often, and it is, I know it is. And so as jewelry designers, you know, you're artists, and I think that there's something really beautiful about containing the creative energy until it's ready to be expressed to the world. And sometimes it means not looking at other people's stuff and like shutting down your email and getting off Facebook and don't look at other jewelry designer stuff.
So important.
Honor the creative incubation, and I think that has been creating a lot of joy and happiness because there's some good stuff in here for you, there's good stuff in your heart, and it can't come out if you're constantly being like, what's she doing over there?
I know. I think that is such an important point, Kate, because I think a lot of designers are like, and we got this question on a call the other day, like, you know, is it important to like be focused on trends, or should I do like what really feeds me? And my answer was immediately like, do whatever makes you happy, because like if you're following what someone else is doing, like for some designers, following trends is the right thing for what they're doing because that is their thing, right? But for some people, you know, it's really from what comes within. And, you know, I'm more of that type of designer where, you know, I tried to follow trends in my first business and it became totally disastrous and, you know, it wasn't the right thing for me. And so I love that you said that. It's like listening to your intuition, listening to what feels right for you, and really being honest and truthful and aligning yourself with that. It's like, it's just really powerful. Yeah.
And it cuts down a lot of the static. So if you stop looking at other people's stuff for a little while, you cut out static and hear yourself better.
That is very true. I love that. Okay, so back to finances. Because I want them, because I've been, you know, I've told you this a million times in this interview and in our personal conversations, but I'm really working on honing in my finances, and I have been for a couple of years. So I just want to ask you, do you have any tips for our designers how to stay on track with their finances?
Yeah. So I really recommend making a financial date with yourself each week and scheduling it in your calendar as though you were meeting with like the most important person ever. And don't let that date go. Like, schedule it in, like, you know, you had a meeting with Obama or something, or like, you know, I don't know, whoever your person is. I don't know. Like, you're not going to send Obama.
Whoever the person that you think is so cool. Like, for me, it would be if I had an appointment with Audrey Hepburn or something, even though she's not alive.
Audrey Hepburn, right?
Yeah.
Mine would be Ellen DeGeneres.
Okay, yes, and I love, Ellen, same thing, yeah. She's so awesome.
and clear your desk, light a candle, get yourself some sort of like sparkling pretty beverage, pour it in a wine glass, put on some great music, like create a financial date playlist for yourself, and make looking at your money a fun event. Yeah. Maybe even put on a great outfit and like your favorite jewelry for it, because the energy that you bring to your finances will change the entire experience, and it will attract more abundance to you. The sheer act of having fun and being more loving and playful around it and adding pleasure.
I love that.
So make a financial date. I like to do it on Friday mornings. It's Financial Freedom Fridays.
I love that.
Down. We like have our financial stuff that we do. I have a beautiful checkbook cover. We have like a whole way that we do it, and we keep that date because it's important to interact with your money. Just like if you were wanting to have a loving relationship with your husband, you have to do date nights, and you're like, you know, show your money, and what we put our attention on grows. So if you put your loving attention on your money, it will expand, and you will make more, and you will be able to keep more and save and invest and do all of those things that you want to do.
I love that. So I just like was thinking about, because I've known Kate for a couple of years, and initially we did this, she came and like helped me feng shui my apartment a long time ago when I moved into my new place. This is so funny. It's a total sidebar. Sorry, everyone, but it is relevant. But she is like a feng shui master too. And so like when I was like designing my new office in my this tiny second bedroom in my new apartment, I was like, okay, what do I need to put in there? Like, what are some of the colors? So like, you know, red was an important color, which I have a lot of red. And she's like, just make sure you have really expensive artwork and like all of your jewelry around. So like wherever the money spot is in your house, like have sparkly things. Or what else would you recommend from a feng shui perspective?
Anything that makes you feel abundant
and
wealthy. So,
your Chanel handbag.
So actually, this is a great example. I'm actually sitting in my wealth and prosperity quadrant right now.
I like it.
It's where my desk is. I have an extremely expensive office chair. I really invested a lot of money in this because I got a Herman Miller. I am the most important piece of office equipment. So I am sitting in something that is super supportive and ergonomical. And then behind me, I have a piece of art, this drawing that was done to me by my friend Moby, which is, he's very abundant.
Your friend, I love it. You're like, my friend Moby.
It's very expensive. I would never sell it. But he really represents abundance and prosperity to me because he's probably one of my wealthiest friends. So that's there. I've got my chair and then my computer, like the whole setup. So, but things that make you feel abundant, things that make you feel wealthy. And it doesn't have to be financially wealthy. I put these two drawings here. This one is my friend Kirsten drew this one for me. And I just feel really abundant in my friendships. So that's the other reason to have guys around me.
I love that. Oh, I love that. I have a picture of my mom and my abundance thing.
I love that.
I love it, yeah. And then lots of sparkly things. Have my glitter painting. I can't show you. I'd have to like move the light out of the way and turn my computer around. So I'm not going to do that. But
sparkles, red, gold, silver, deep purples, deep blues. Those are all really good for feng shui for abundance.
Okay.
I have a chandelier up here that is a custom-made one that I really love. I don't think it was that expensive, but it makes me feel really good.
Chandelier is awesome. I wish my apartment that would work here. But okay, now we're getting sidetracked. All right. So Kate, it's been so great speaking to you. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're working on now besides your book? Or you can talk about your book. Tell me about your book first.
Oh, well, so the book comes out September 3rd with Hay House. It's called Money, A Love Story, and it's about how to fall in love with your money, to have more of it, and do more of what you want in your life. I have to come up with a subtitle, obviously.
How to fall in love with your money, to have more of it. I like that.
And so that'll be out in September. In the spring, I'm going to be launching a course that will walk people kind of through the curriculum of the book as kind of a pre-launch thing. So if you're on my list at katenorthrup.com, you'll get all the details on that. I am also going to be launching a course this year called Heart Hustle, which is about turning sales into a spiritual practice to serve the world and also increase your bottom line.
I love that.
Class will be great for jewelry designers.
Yes, it will. Definitely.
Which is for anybody who has an independent business who finds themselves having to sell something at some point, whether it's selling themselves, their services, or their product. And honestly, everybody's got something to sell.
We all have something to sell.
And just become a salesperson. But you can do it from a heart-centered, service-oriented place. And that course will be about that. So those are the two things I'm working on.
That's so awesome. So just to recap, you can find Kate on katenorthrup.com. I'm going to have links below all of this. And you are also on Twitter and Facebook, so I'll post the links underneath there too. Oh my God, what a great, great conversation today, Kate. Thank you so much for being here.
Do a redo.
I know. We did get to do a redo, and the redo is so much better. I'm not glad my computer crashed, but this has like been so much more fun. I mean, they were both fun, but you know what I mean. We got a lot juicier.
Yeah.
And we got some feng shui tips too. So.
Yeah. Home decor. Home decor and financial freedom.
Thanks, Kate. So just to remember, you can find Kate, katenorthrup.com. Thanks, everyone, for watching today. And let us know what you think in the comments below. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye. Thanks, bye.